The meaning of life is to give life meaning. That pain you're feeling right now, the one you keep trying to numb, avoid, or explain away, it's not evidence that you're broken or that life has failed you. According to a man who survived hell itself, it might be your greatest opportunity. Viktor Frankl lost everything in the Nazi concentration camps: his pregnant wife, his parents, his brother, his career, his possessions, even his name. Yet he emerged with something that can transform your suffering today. Let's be brutally honest. Pain is inevitable. The relationship that shattered your heart, the career setback that humiliated you, the diagnosis that terrified you, the grief that hollowed you out. These aren't anomalies. They're built into the human experience. What breaks people isn't suffering itself. It's suffering without meaning. In Auschwitz, Frankl noticed something startling. The prisoners who survived weren't necessarily the physically strongest. They were those who found purpose in their pain. Those who could answer the question, why am I enduring this? Your brain is hardwired to find causes for your pain. I'm suffering because my partner left. I'm suffering because I failed. I'm suffering because life is unfair. But Frankl discovered a radical inversion. The question isn't why am I suffering, but rather, what is this suffering asking of me? Here's the crucial distinction. Most of us are seeking meaning from life, when we should be bringing meaning to life. We want the universe to explain itself to us. Frankl suggests the universe is waiting for our response instead. This isn't spiritual bypassing or toxic positivity. Frankl wasn't suggesting we pretend suffering is pleasant or deny our grief. He was acknowledging the raw, brutal reality of pain while refusing to make it the final word. In the camps, he observed 3 sources of meaning that kept people alive. First, purposeful work. Even in Auschwitz, those who could mentally connect to future projects or contributions showed remarkable resilience. Your suffering might be pointing toward work only you can do. What wounds have you sustained that give you unique insight? What problems do you understand from the inside out? Second, love. In the bleakest moments of his imprisonment, Frankl would hold mental conversations with his wife. Not knowing if she was alive or dead, he wrote, "Love goes very far beyond the physical person of the beloved. When we love deeply, we transcend our individual suffering and connect to something larger." And third, the courage to change our attitude when facing unavoidable pain. Frankl's most revolutionary idea was this: everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. This isn't just inspirational fluff. Neurologically, your brain physically changes when you shift from passive victim to active meaning maker. Studies show that people who find meaning in their suffering experience less depression, greater resilience, and even better immune function. Frankl wasn't suggesting that suffering is necessary for meaning. He specifically wrote, "In no way is suffering necessary to find meaning. I only insist that meaning is possible even in spite of suffering, provided the suffering is unavoidable." So when facing pain you can't escape, ask yourself these 3 questions. What is this teaching me that I couldn't learn any other way? Not why did this happen, but what can I do with what happened? How has this connected me more deeply to others? Suffering can isolate us, but it can also be the bridge to profound human connection. Who am I becoming through this? What qualities are being forged in this fire that wouldn't emerge in comfortable times? There's a profound difference between everything happens for a reason and we can bring reason to everything that happens. The first leaves us passive, waiting for cosmic explanations. The second empowers us to be meaning makers in a chaotic world. Your suffering isn't meaningless unless you leave it that way. As Frankl wrote, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. The ultimate question isn't whether you'll suffer. You will. The question is whether your suffer will be just suffering or whether it will become a portal to a deeper, more meaningful life. In the concentration camps, Frankl witnessed that the sort of person a prisoner became was a result of an inner decision and not the result of camp influences alone. Your circumstances may limit your options, but they never eliminate your freedom to choose your response. This doesn't minimize your pain. It dignifies it. It suggests that what you're going through matters, not just as some cosmic lesson, but as a very grounds where your unique contribution to the world is being cultivated. So the next time suffering finds you, and it will, remember Frankl standing in the freezing dawn of Auschwitz, communing with a memory of his wife, finding meaning even there, and ask yourself not, why is this happening to me? But what does this make possible? Because as Frankl discovered in humanity's darkest hour, those who have a why to live can bear almost any how.